Your unique story, our global audience. Global One Media.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Stocks to Watch series, where we bring you exciting, informative, and innovative stories from company executives globally. I'm your host, Ashley Berry, and today we're welcoming Farhad Abasov, chairman of Millennial Potash, a potash exploration company developing its flagship Banio Potash Project in Gabon, a Central African country rich in natural resources. Millennial Potash is run by a seasoned board of directors and executives who have built and sold, in fact, several mining companies, including Millennial Lithium, Alana Potash, Potash One, and others. They're listed on the TSXV as MLP, the OTCQB as MLPNF, and the Frankfurt Exchange as X0D. Welcome, Farhad.
Thank you, Ashley. Good to be here.
Yes, great to have you here. So let's begin with this exciting story of Millennial Potash, its inception, and of course, your current mission and vision.
Ashley, look, we sold our last company, Millennial Lithium, last year. And since then, we started looking for a new project. And our model, I would say, is pretty straightforward. We'll always look for projects that have been previously explored in a good jurisdiction, so that we can take it on and take it through all the stages of development and then position it for either construction or for exit through M&A transactions. And this project ticks a lot of those boxes. It has been previously explored. It has a very large resource already on it. It is a JORC compliant, so we'll make it 43101 or Canadian standards compliant. It is in a very good jurisdiction. Gabon is actually one of the richest countries in Africa on a GDP per capita basis. It is in a great location within Gabon as well. It's on the coast, so it affords a lot of advantages as well. So our task now is to take it from this stage all the way to the point where it's ready to go into construction.
Fantastic. You know, I find potash pretty fascinating, and I don't think a lot of people really know what exactly it is, what it's used for. Maybe for those that aren't familiar, you could tell us more about the applications and uses and really the market for it.
Absolutely, Ashley. Look, I mean, you're absolutely right. It's kind of considered a well-known product, a commodity in the mining world, but outside, you're absolutely right. It's not too many people are aware of what it is and what it's used for. It is a critical fertilizer, one of the three main fertilizers used worldwide. What is interesting about potash is that it's absolutely essential for crops, and some crops actually need it more than others, obviously, but the entire world uses it, but there are only half a dozen producers in the world. So highly geographically concentrated production. So if you look at the potash space today, almost 75% of world supply of potash comes basically from three jurisdictions, from Saskatchewan in Canada, Russia, and Belarus. So you can imagine that because of the situation, geopolitical tensions in Europe right now, the potash issue has become very important and actually critical for the world. Not only for agriculture, but obviously food security specifically. And as I said, although there are only a handful of companies and countries producing potash, the rest of the world is actually a big consumer. So for us, it's important to be in the right place at the right time, because once in production, we're going to be one of the nearest suppliers of potash to Brazil, for example, the largest importer of potash in the world, about 12 million tons a year. We're also going to be very close to India and China compared to many other producers. And we also obviously in Africa. So Africa uses about 2 million tons. So we'll be able to place our product in Africa that does not have domestic production itself. So we're going to be in a very unique position considering how important potash has become, considering the growth and obviously in the world population, but also the depletion of soil at this point.
Sure. And I know you touched on this, the proximity, the Africa, the Banio Project. Maybe you could just give us a little sense of why this particular region, why there are so many advantageous factors there specifically for you and your company.
Yes, actually, there are two things. One is the project itself, meaning the technical or what we call geological aspects of it. As I said, it has been explored in the past. It has seen two major drill programs. So we have a very good idea as to what is in the ground. 2D seismic work has been done. Again, we never touch any project that has not been explored in the past. That's very important for us because we know that it has been de-risked to a certain extent. So our task is to basically confirm what has been found, but also expand it further. But the second major advantage is the location. It's right on the coast. So it gives us two major advantages. One, logistically, in other words, taking our product out, it was going to be much easier. The second thing is we're right on the coast, which means we can use seawater. Now, we're planning to use solution mining for the extraction and processing methodology for this project. Solution mining is a well-proven method. There are quite a few solution mining operations in Saskatchewan, in Germany, and so forth. And our team is well, familiar with it because our previous two projects that you mentioned, Potash 1 and Alana Potash, were also solution mining amenable. And that means that we will be able to use seawater to pump into the ore body to dissolve potash. That means we don't have to use fresh water or water that can be used for agriculture or anything else. That's a huge advantage because we don't have to go through water permitting issues. The second thing, as far as the cost is concerned, actually, is that our potash deposits are very thick. So if you look at potash horizons in our project, they're very thick, up to 100 meters thick. So again, that translates into lower operating costs and lower sustaining capex for us.
Okay, fascinating. You touched about the de-risking factors for your project. What objectives would you say you're focused on right now?
So our first objective right now actually is to drill the northern part of our project. So again, the project has seen two major exploration programs a little bit to the north, and the other one is at the southern tip. So the northern part is the shallowest part. So we'll be drilling it imminently. We have the drill rig on site. We got all the necessary spare parts and muds and everything else. So we'll start in the next couple of weeks. And then based on that, on the findings during the first drill program, we'll put out what we call maiden resource estimate, probably in November. And then we'll go ahead with a preliminary economic assessment based on the maiden resource estimate. While we're doing a PEA, we'll move our drill rig down to the south. We're going to start drilling southern deeper horizons, and those are thicker horizons. And we're hoping to complete the PEA as well as the revised resource estimate by the end of the first quarter next year. So it's going to be very busy next few months for sure.
That's what I was just going to say. It sounds like a very busy fall ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Farhad, any final message you'd like to convey to your current or potential shareholders, especially those who just got a quick lesson in what potash is and the importance of it and what your company is trying to achieve?
Sure, Asha. Look, again, I want to just reiterate the three major factors here. One, the project has been de-risked already to a certain extent before us, so we know what is in the ground. So our task is to basically expand it further. Two, the jurisdiction is absolutely critical on many accounts. One, of course, the permitting is important. Two, where within that jurisdiction your project is located. And three, whether you can actually attract capital to that country. And Gabon is a really good jurisdiction to attract Western capital as well as capital from other parts of the world. And the third thing is the team. You've already mentioned in your introduction that the team has been involved in many successful M&A transactions. Now, there have been only three major potash junior transactions, M&A transactions, the last 15 years or so, and our team has been involved in 2 out of 3. So they basically led it from A to Z, so to speak. So this is a really heavily potash-oriented team that is ready to take this to the next level. So we think, again, this project ticks all of these boxes. Now, having said that, of course, none of the mining projects are problem-free, so we're going to have a lot of issues as we go forward, I'm sure. But again, the team has seen a lot of these things and has dealt with a lot of issues in even harder jurisdictions or much, much tougher locations. So we're well equipped to deal with all these things head on. So we think in the next few months, our shareholders and prospective shareholders will be hearing a lot of hopefully very positive news.
Yeah, I would like to know what excites you most about what you're doing and your mission.
Actually, I think it's taken a very tough task, a very tough location and tough project, and de-risking it, taken to the point where it's what we call shovel ready. It is extremely difficult. When we start with this project, everybody says, "Oh, you've done this many times. It should probably it's easy." I say it's never easy because every project, every jurisdiction comes with its own challenges. Mm-hmm. But that's the beauty of it. A lot of people don't touch those things. We go in. We'll look at everything in detail, and our team is quite different from many other teams that we stay with the project all the way to the end. So basically, we take on the project until everyone exits. We're all there. So whether it's a production start or it's an M&A exit, et cetera, and hence our DD also takes on a completely different form. And so that's what excites us, getting a new project and taking it all the way to fruition.
I love to hear that, because you think about some missions and it sort of ends in the middle, or you're almost there, but to hear that you're following all the way through is certainly encouraging, I think, for our viewers.
No, thank you. Actually, that's our motto.
Yeah.
So
seeing it through.
absolutely, getting it done.
Thank you so much, Farhad
Thanks so
Abasov,
much,
Chairman
Ashley.
of Millennial Potash. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your important story and exciting updates on Stocks to Watch with Global One Media. We look forward to sharing more with our audience.
Thank you, Ashley.